secret plan for if all players die. So does that mean it's a death game? I don't think it's a death game. I think it's like an emergency.
Professional sports play about half of their games at places that aren't their home stadium, meaning they have to travel to play the opposing team, usually by plane.
Yeah.
Here's another fun fact. If a plane suffers a serious malfunction while flying, it can crash into the ground, killing everyone aboard. And here's a third fun fact. Most sports leagues are aware of Fun Facts 1 and 2 and thus have quietly created detailed contingency plans for what to do if all their players are killed.
So, wait, yeah, if everybody gets kaputted, right? If everybody gets kaputted, doesn't that mean that the third secret plan is no longer a secret plan?
The NFL has one, the NBA has one, the NHL.
Oh my God! Everybody and their mom has one.
Even the MLS has one, and they don't even have a plan for getting people to watch their games.
That's crazy.
You see, back in the late 1950s and 60s, plane travel was becoming.
Yo, imagine a plane ride like this back in the day, dude. 1950. You got your gourmet food on a nice airplane, and you get to smoke whatever the hell you wanted. That's insane. Why did my screen go black? Well, there we go.
Increasingly popular, which meant that
dude, I would love to have some of that.
Crashes was also becoming increasingly popular.
That's insane. Airplanes are popular. People be kaputting.
The Manchester United sports team died in a plane crash in 1958.
Oh.
Polytechnic University lost 16 of the other kind of football players in a plane crash in 1960.
Oh my God.
The US figure skating team died in a fatal plane crash in 1961.
That's rigged. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That figure skating one, 100% rigged. Ain't no shot.
All of which happened without a contingency plan to help the teams rebuild. These days, the figure skating team separates their A and B teams when traveling to competitions, and they aren't the only ones who have developed contingencies for potential shakes on a plane.
That's insane.
Acutely aware of how their entire C-suite dying in a plane might tank their market cap. Back in 1980.
Market cap is wild.
A Trump organization helicopter crashed and killed 3 C-suite executives, which is part of why these days 84% of companies have some kind of policy limiting how many executives are allowed to travel together. Coca-Cola, for example, doesn't let the 2 people who know the secret formula travel together, and another corporation, the US government, by practice, never allows the president and vice president to travel together, even though neither of them know anything about soda. But back to another corporation.
What? What did he just do to us? I think he just mind wiped us.
Sports. While most professional sports teams do allow their whole teams to travel together, the leagues are extensively prepared for what to do if they also die together. Let's start the same way many brain injuries start, with the NFL, which
brain injury
contingency plans depending on how severe the situation is. If fewer than 15 players die, it's only a near disaster, terminology that I'm sure the families of the fewer than 15 dead NFL players would totally love.
That's insane. What did you make me listen to? What is this video? This is treating things like it's nothing, like actual assets instead of like players.
In this scenario, the team would be required to play out the rest of the regular season, but would get preference on claiming free agents. And if the quarterback specifically happened to be incapacitated, the team could draft 2 quarterbacks from any team they wanted to, which is why the Texans have seriously considered flying David Mills everywhere on Boeing 737 Maxes.
Bro, he just straight up said that. I need to hear that one more time. Did he just say what I think he just said?
Texans have seriously considered flying David Mills everywhere on Boeing 737 Maxes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just Googled who was the worst quarterback. I have no idea who that is. But if 15 or more,
that was wild.
The NFL's disaster plan would kick in.
What's the disaster plan?
Currently, the world's most advanced humanoid robot, Roger Goodell, would decide whether the team could finish playing out the season. If he decided they could, they'd revert to the near disaster protocol. But if he decided they couldn't, he'd create what's called an off-season disaster draft, with the team granted 32 players to pick from other non-dead teams, plus the official draft.
Why does he subtly put these wordplay? Are you hearing this guy?
disaster draft, with the team granted 32 players to pick from other non-dead teams, plus the official draft's #1 pick. So, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost Tom Brady to a freak facelift mishap, Goodell could allow the Buccaneers to draft a quarterback since it qualified within the NFL's near-disaster protocol. But if everyone aside from Brady experienced a facelift mishap, then Goodell could either allow Brady to play by himself for the rest of the season, which might be in the Buccaneers' best interest, or draft a new team. And if you're not a football fan, don't worry, your league of choice likely also has a plan for how to keep the ticket sales churning in the face of unspeakable human tragedy.
What is happening?
If 5 players die or are dismembered, the National Basketball Association would also start a disaster draft and would force its non-dismembered teams to give up their 6th players for it. Similarly, the National Hockey League allows teams with 5 or more incapacitated players to draft players from other teams who'd be paid by the league's rainy day fund.
Rainy day fund? Yo! This is some number talk. There is no human emotion in this.
On that particular day, it had been raining NHL players. And representing the sports your dad falls asleep watching, Major League Baseball's plan works similarly to the
damn
NFL's.
shots to MLB.
Super secret playbook, the league commissioner decides whether a team can play or not after losing 5 or more members to death, dismemberment, disability, or suspension. The season is either canceled, or they could select 1 player from each MLB team up to the number of players they lost. All the league's teams would make a pitcher, catcher, outfielder, and infielder available, along with a player of any position. Short fielder, home baseman, power forward. I don't know the baseball positions, okay? No U.S. leagues have had to implement their disaster plans, but believe it or not, the world includes...
Yo! Bro, you're a catcher. Catch the ball. What the fuck? Bro, you just cost them a point.
But believe it or not, the
brother,
world includes places that are not the U.S. In 2011, Eurasia's Continental Hockey League lost all but 1 of its Lokomotiv Yaroslavl team members in a plane crash.
Oh my god, that's unfortunate.
Afterwards, the KHL scrambled to create a disaster draft and pulled 3 players from all the other teams to replace Lokomotiv Yaroslavl.
Yo, that must be powerful.
It's bad if people die, but it's even worse if those people's deaths mean that you can't watch people wearing the dead people's old uniforms, putting a ball and or puck into a net and or hoop and or goal. An entire dead sports team is a difficult problem to solve, and difficult problems don't always have conventional solutions. Whether your problems are big or small, critical thinking and problem solving are life skills that we could all stand to develop.
That's true, I agree with that.
And what better place to develop those skills than with our sponsor, Brilliant.
Oh damn, he got us good, chat. Hit us with the
with thousands of lessons to choose from.
Corpo ad. That was a good ad slide in for sure. Welcome to Corpo. Dude, this was 100% Corpo. This is insane. Troubs, you should watch the Instagram reel about Samurai Dude is shaving his head in the palate cleanser. I will.
Super type A way of unwinding on the weekend. I've learned so much through Brilliant's hands-on classes.
You know, if I have too much ADHD and ADD to not be able to focus on this.
And the best part is, you can take advantage of Brilliant's bite-sized Brilliance.
Yo, is it for free?
Started for free. Click the button on screen.
Oh, damn.
Or visit brilliant.org/HAI.
Might have to check that out later, huh, chat? Hey, it is what it is. Was that it? Damn, he hit us with the ad at the very end? What a banger. What a fucking banger. All right, chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you liked that video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get to that 1K action figure. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.